Hello and welcome to Fun with Physics. I'm Mr. Spensieri. Today we begin a series of lectures on electricity and magnetism. We start with where electric charge comes from. As we all know, all matter is made up of little small particles known as atoms. Atoms are the smallest building blocks of all elements on the periodic table. However, they can also be broken down into subatomic particles. The three subatomic particles that make up all atoms are protons, neutrons, and electrons. While protons and neutrons make up the majority of the mass of an atom, protons are positively charged and neutrons are neutrally charged. So electrons balance off that positive charge of the protons with a negative charge of their own. The model of the atom has changed over the years. And what has come from this is that an atom is made up of a nucleus, which contains all protons and neutrons, and then around it, in these orbitals, in the empty space around the nucleus, the electrons can be found. Since the electrons are found in the empty space around the nucleus, they are free to move around from one atom to another. The transfer of electrons is known as electricity. If a neutral object loses electrons, the protons that it still maintains has a greater charge than the electrons that are left over, and therefore it has an overall positive charge. So losing electrons causes an object to gain a positive charge. If a neutral atom gains electrons, it will have more electrons than protons, and therefore an excess of negative charge. So gaining electrons is a negative charge. Static electricity is the transfer of electrons from one object to another. Once the electrons are transferred, the charge stays in a certain area of that object. That's why it is called static, not moving. When objects are charged, they can either be positively charged or negatively charged. The way they interact with each other and other charged objects is described in the law of electric charges. Similar charged objects repel one another, while unlike charges attract one another. And both charged objects, both positive and negative charged objects, attract neutrally charged objects. Now let us review. All matter is made up of submicroscopic particles called atoms. These atoms are made up of three subatomic particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. And although protons and neutrons are found in the nucleus of an atom, electrons are found in the negative cloud around this nucleus and are free to move around. Electrons are oppositely charged to protons, while neutrons are neutrally charged. When electrons are transferred, we get objects with different charges: positively charged, negatively charged, or neutrally charged. Like charges, such as positive and positive, repel each other, while unlike charges, such as positive and negative, attract each other. And both positively charged and negatively charged objects attract neutral objects. When neutral atoms lose electrons, they become positively charged, while when atoms gain electrons, they become negatively charged. This concludes our lesson for today. I hope it wasn't too shocking.